Hello everyone, it's the first Sunday in September and of course autumn has now officially begun. We haven't even had a summer, at least here in the UK anyway. I think it's been the worst summer that I can ever remember. Really cold and wet and very little sunshine, but there we have it, there we go. But I want to do the prompt of the month. I don't know what to call this. I'm going to leave it as a wild card and hope that you'll take some inspiration from the project that I put together today. I want to use Happy Mail that I've received from a couple of friends. This here was sent to me by my friend Lena, and I think these are wallpaper samples. I've tried searching for these and can't find them. It's called Design Glass. We've also got this texture here, but I think that Lena has covered these using oil pastels. They're absolutely beautiful. This is another textured one here. This is more paper-like, so I think that's sort of like an anaglypta type wallpaper. Another sort of fiberglass type page, and the same again here. That's also called Design Glass. But I just love the colours that she's used. Aren't these pretty? And I thought that we might be able to do something with these today. Now, to give you some ideas, because I know that not all of you are going to have anything like this, I also received some Happy Mail from my friend Pam, and again this is anaglypta wallpaper. Absolutely love the design of this, so I'm going to try and create something similar to these using this. Pam also sent me some vertical blind samples as well. This is a roll of vertical blind. It's not quite as thick as these, but again, I'm absolutely sure that we can do a similar kind of thing. And for anybody who's interested in seeing previous projects using vertical blind samples, let me just see if I can lay my hands on it. Here we go. I did a couple of projects. I'll share the link to this one here, and I don't know whether it was in the same video or a separate one. I also made this one here, and that was also using oil pastels on a vertical blind sample. So I think we're going to have some fun today. So let's start off by doing something with this blind sample here. I'm going to cut it about the same height as this here. What have I done with my pencil? So I'm just going to cut that off there, and then let's make this into a tag shape. I'm going to use Lena's tag as a template, so I'm just going to cut that off there, take it to the other side. In fact, actually I'll use this piece here just because it's easier, so that I know that they're completely symmetrical. So now I have my tag shape, and then hopefully this hole is not going to be too big for some of the grommets I've got, that I might be able to fit through it. Mine's starting to curl, but I'll probably end up adding something to the back anyway. Now I'm going to be using wax crayons to colour my blind sample, and I've got a few examples to share with you. I think this would work with kids' Crayola crayons. I've got this pack here with lots of different colours. I've got my Neocolour watercolour soluble wax crayons. I've also got a water soluble set from Prima as well. I think these will stick to the pattern on the blind sample. I've also got some oil pastels as well from Paul Rubens, and I think all of these will work in much the same way. So let's try the Crayola crayons first. I've chosen 3 colours, and I've chosen these just because I've already removed the bands from the set. I think I'm going to go light to dark, or do I go dark to light? Light to dark, and I'm just going to rub this over, and you just see that that's working really, really well. Let's try some of the pink. Just try and introduce some more colour, and then let's take the darker colour and see if we can add some more contrast as well. And I love this multi-tonal approach that we've got going on here. How pretty is that? Now Lena has added modelling paste through this, and it's added a really pretty texture, but the results are very similar. So I can add some more yellow if I want to, and just keep playing with this until I've got the depth of colour that I want. I think that's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? And so much fun as well to do, and quick. Now I've also done the same with some of the Prima water-soluble pastels, gone over with these same colours. These are just much more vibrant. I think they're just much more pigmented. But what I do want to do is go over this with some water just to reactivate the crayons, and isn't that pretty? So I really love that effect, and I can always go back over this once the blind is dry as well, just to get some more of that raised texture. Now you wouldn't be able to do that with the cheap Crayola crayons. I've taken the other two outside to give them a coat of spray fixative. So whilst I'm leaving those to dry, let's see what we can do with this. I've chosen this inky blue, and I'm just going to go over the background with this and hopefully pick up some of the texture. And you can see that it's picking up the beautiful texture of that wallpaper in the background. So again, let's just go over this. These are my Primas, so these are water soluble. Let's see if we can get some beautiful colour in the background. I love how that looks. That's just beautiful. I've given this one a couple of coats of spray fixative as well, and so that's what we've ended up with. It was from this to this. I think it's gorgeous, but I am tempted to take it one step further. I've got this silver oil pastel from Paul Rubens. I'm going to take the paper off again, if I can get it off, and I'm just going to rub this over as well and just see if we can pick up any of that metallic. Oh my goodness me, I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Not too much, Nina, don't overdo it. Now I've been using the Sennelier fixative. This is oil pastel fixative, and I'm just going to take this off again and give that another couple of sprays. Now, just to give you some other ideas of things that you can use to get a similar effect, I've got some Anaglypta wallpaper here as well, just plain white samples. You could do much the same thing with these, and don't forget as well that those of you with embossing machines could run a piece of cardstock through an embossing folder and use that as well. So I hope that's given you some ideas and alternatives. So whilst the pieces I've just made are drying, let's see what we can come up with for this. Now I am thinking that I can maybe create myself some kind of a bifold. Let's have a look. So if I put those back to back, and perhaps these back to back as well, I need to level them off. They're not quite straight at the edges. I need to find some way of making myself a spine, but I've got these two on the front and these two on the back. I think that's the best colour combination. Now I've cut all of my sheets, and let me just tell you what they measure, because I know somebody is bound to ask. Mine are 6¼ inches by, I think it was 3½ inches, and this is the way round that I'm going to have them. So I'm going to have these on the front and these ones here on the back. I think that colour wise that works for me. Now of course I need to find a way of gluing these together, so let me just take these two here to start off with, and I think what I'll do is twist this around, leave myself a very small gap, and I'm just going to use some micropore initially just to glue these together. Let me just have a look and make sure that that's about the right width. Stick it down, Nina. Try not to overthink it. There we go. That's done. So I've cut off the top and the bottom and smoothed this down. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to apply some micropore now to the other side as well. Now this is very translucent, so you'll hardly be able to tell that the micropore is even there. So let's smooth this down, and again I'm just going to cut off the excess. So now I've got two sheets that are glued together like this using the micropore, and I want to cut the corners into a tag shape. So just going to take one corner off there, take this one here, if I can grab hold of it, to the other side. Let's have a look. and cut that off as well so that those are symmetrical again, and I've got that tag shape. And I'm just going to take this off to the sewing machine and just sew all the way around. In fact, I want this to be the front, so I'm just going to do my stitching on this side here all the way around. And to hold the pieces together, I'm just going to add some glue in the middle here just to keep it in place. Now, as you can see, I've sewn around the edge of my tag, so that's what I've done. I also cut out, I don't know whether you can tell, this side here to make it into a proper tag shape. And then I made the mistake of stitching down the sides of the micropore tape, and my sewing machine just did not get on with the glue at all. It kept snapping, and so I've ended up with a horrible mess that I need to do something with. I'm just going to use some of this frayed burlap, and I'm just going to add this down the spine, and I'm going to turn this into a little book. So what I will do, I've got my Fabri-Tac here. Let's just add a little bit all over the spine. I'm going to thin this out as well because I don't want it to seep through. Let me just keep that upside down as well. Let's pop that over there. I'm just going to spread this out with my finger, and then just pop this down, and let's make sure that I've got this even on both sides. In fact, actually it's probably better if I do it like this, because I can see whether I've got the same amount of fabric on either side. I'm going to go off camera so that I can concentrate on doing this properly, because I want to make sure that I've got that nice and straight. I'm probably going to need to add a little bit more glue as well. This is how my little tag booklet cover looks. So it's all stuck down now. Now what I want to do is add a couple of pockets, and I've cut out 2 triangles of acetate, and you can see I've added some red scoreline tape as well. That's how I'm going to glue it down, and I'm just going to glue these or stick them down in the corners just so that I've got somewhere to pop my tags without covering up these beautiful backgrounds. So I'm just going to sit now and fiddle with this, and as soon as I've done that, I'll be straight back. My little pockets are stuck down, so of course now I need to choose which tags to pop inside. Now of course I did these 2. I did actually go over these again using a very pale pink from the Paul Rubens line. It was this fleshy coloured one here. I just felt that they were too dark and needed a bit more contrast, but I think I'm going to pop those off to one side. I can maybe do something with those another time. And these are the 2 that I've decided to use to stick in my pockets. Now I did pull out one of the butterflies from one of the Daphne's Diary magazines to add as a focal image, and I've also added some handmade paper to the back of both of these as well, just to finish them off and tidy them up a bit. So let's have a look and see what these look like inside their little pockets. I've left my butterfly dimensional, so I'm just going to have to be a bit careful how I slot it in, but hopefully I've cut these to the right size to fit these little pockets. Doesn't that look pretty? Now I do want to do something with the front cover as well. Included in the package that Lena sent me, she'd wrapped one of the bundles in this pretty ribbon here with this little flower on the front. I think that's a bit busy. It doesn't match the pastel tone, so I'm just going to take that off. And she also wrapped one of the bundles in this pretty mint green lace or ribbon as well. And I think what I'm going to do is glue on a piece of this, a band of this all the way around, and then pop my flower on as a little focal image, and I just think that adds a nice touch of detail to the front. Now I think I'm going to use red score tape again to stick this down, so I'm just going to grab another piece of this tape and just stick a piece all the way along the top, and then I can just add a small amount of glue sort of in the more dense areas in this middle band and the bottom. So that's how I am going to glue it, and then I can just add a little bit of glue I'm using art glitter glue. I just find art glitter glue just a little bit better than 3-in-1, which I find tends to go just a little bit stiff. So I'm just adding it to these denser areas here. Well, that glue method has worked a treat. That's stuck on really nicely. Now I want to glue my flower on. This is the back, and I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue just on this thick rim around here. I think that will be the best way to glue this. And then I'm just going to weight this down underneath a heavy book for a minute or two, just to make sure that that glue grabs. Now, how do I want this to go? Don't overthink it, Nina. About there. Isn't that pretty? I'm calling this done. The only other thing I've done to it is added a couple of grommets, as you can see, and some seam binding, just to add a bit more texture. I like the way that that looks. And I found a home for it as well. I'm going to put it in my usual scraps journal. And I thought this would be the perfect place because the greens go really well. This was a page I did last Easter. And of course it goes really well with the back as well. And then we've got this here and, you know, this tag. And it may well be that I do something further with this tag at a later date. I don't know. I also need to find a focal image for the back here. And maybe I could add a daffodil or something. I don't know. I'll have a ponder on that one. But I'm just really happy to have been able to use the Happy Mail gifted to me by, you know, some lovely friends. So thank you, Lena, and thank you, Pam. I know Pam was eager for me to do something with the blind samples and textured wallpaper, so I hope that's given you some ideas. But if you've enjoyed my video today, as always, I'd very much appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, but most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.